All right, all right. Hello, everyone. Tonight, as always, my name is Astra Ebonwing, and welcome to yet another episode of Not for Broadcast. Let me bring up Not for Broadcast's sound. Speaking of the game, let's bring that up nice and slow here because it's a little loud in the rush room. There we go. We're gonna leave it at about there, and that should be good. Excellent. So yeah, welcome to tonight's stream. It's gonna be a longer one than usual, and that's because I am putting together 2 episodes tonight. Hello, awesome friend. Good to see you. Pretty good tonight, actually. It's been a wild day, gotta say. It's been a lot of game development work. It's been a lot of just a lot of life stuff, you know, like just the life stuff going on. But yeah, I mean, I what I was saying, and it ties into some of that, is the Rush Room is obviously the behind the scenes mode of Not for Broadcast, and I will be playing this for the next hour. And this is not like the game. Simply enough, this is just going to show us the specific monitors that we had running at the time of the game. We'll be able to watch every camera feed, and we'll be able to hear every microphone, unlike the normal game. And this will allow us to actually hear things that were being said when the microphones were turned off to the production booth. So consider this the behind the scenes. You have to dig forward a little bit information. With that, these sort of episodes early on are going to be very chill, and then afterwards, when we get to the main game, obviously, we'll be picking up in episode 2 after Jeremy's death last week. So if you didn't see last week, oh man, it was something. So for the Rush Room episodes, we're going to start at the beginning and just keep going forward until we hit 8 p.m. and then we'll start the actual episode. So yeah, but feel free to just hang out, you know, Michael, you know, just chit chat. Always throw your thoughts into chat, and I'm just going to be giving my commentary as well as we go through these. Nice and relaxed tonight.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know seafood makes me go out in pustules.
Yeah, I thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist. Going in 5, 4.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight. Moving on up. The election win that experts said just couldn't happen. Hopeful or hostile. Controversy as global mega corporation Remington's Fist buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the Flard market. Top chat. Sports
the fuck
fans
is
everywhere
Flard
celebrate
still?
as popular footballer Johnny Hamsley
Still don't know what
wins
Flard
Sports
is.
Personality of the Year. And
One
a
day.
spoonful of sugar.
Maybe I'll look it up.
Will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie,
And of
The
course, the
Medicated. And of
Blunderclatch
course, we'll be going
interview.
live to Advanced
Oh god,
to hear
no.
what the leaders of this fledgling party have
And
to
so
say
one
on
of the
their
things
story.
obviously is we can mute monitors,
That's all coming up on
so we don't have to
tonight's
listen to that shit.
National Nightly News.
We can actually focus on what was happening.
Their second back.
Seriously, that prick Blunderclatch on election night?
Yeah, Megan's pretty pissed off too.
I'm not surprised. The bloke with no democracy, he's shutting his cornflakes.
Yeah, but he's hot though.
I suppose so, into oxygen thieves.
10 seconds, everybody. Your fragility is leaking.
Ooh.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance. The landslide victory,
There's no signal
with
there.
an astonishing 81% of the popular vote, is the biggest election win in living memory. Advance appealed to voters up and down the country with their bold promises of permanent change, but critics have accused him of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly. However,
So 81% of the
Former Home
vote, that's like
Secretary
fucking
Jeffrey
insane
has
for
issued
one
a statement
party
in which he
in a
comments that
parliamentary
we have all been
system
seduced by the
to
shiny
get.
wrapping
Like,
paper, but have yet to
there
see
are
the contents of the
way
box.
more than 2 parties
Sounds
over
like
there.
sour grapes to me, Jeff. After the break, Megan Wolf will be speaking to a man whose grapes certainly aren't sour, the international heartthrob and inexplicable box office sensation that is Lawrence Blunderclatch. And later in the program, we'll be going live to Advance HQ to hear the co-leader's acceptance speech. That's all coming up after the break.
1 minute back, everybody. Jeremy,
All right, there
I
we
need
are.
you to fill after the ads.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late.
Oh,
I thought I'd ask him about the election.
personally, I wouldn't try to confuse him with any big words.
That's the same policy we use with you. I thought that was our little secret. That's all right, he doesn't remember anything I tell him.
I'm deeply uncomfortable with your burgeoning friendship.
Love you too.
Yeah.
I mean, so we also get to see like a little bit more like the relationships that all the characters have had, and previously we didn't really get into because we were too busy editing. But now we get to see like, you know, Jeremy and Jenny and Megan all seem to have a pretty good relationship. Megan, you know, being, I guess, a bit newer here because she is the culture chair for now. And hello again, welcome back. Yeah, let's go to the Blunderclatch interview. Obviously, we get wonderful Lawrence Blunderclatch, which we'll probably skip most of his. I mean, yeah, we'll see. Because obviously there was the part where he stumbles over the election. But really, I'm also looking more for the behind the scenes.
These
shit.
aren't my
Like
cards.
this.
Please tell me these aren't my cards.
No, they're the right ones, apparently.
But this gives me nothing, Jenny. They must see that.
Oh no, I think they think he won't have anything to say.
Oh, for God's sake, come on. It's a huge day. It's not an...
Absolute bonehead. I don't care, Rob. I'm not doing it. I agreed to do one beastly interview a day. I made that completely clear when we started. Check my contract.
Hi, I'm Megan.
Oh, piss off. You're on thin, bloody ice, Rob. Whole wheat, man. Whole wheat.
We're
God,
coming
he's an
back from
asshole.
the break. Quiet in the studio.
Such an
Thank
asshole.
you so much. For...
10 seconds, everybody. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance, but first our very own culture reporter Megan Wolf is here with a star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare to the Shotbot films. I'm very excited to be joined today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear. I do hope you believe me when I tell you.
Watching Jeremy's face is probably the best part of this right now.
May I say, having been here once is among ours.
I missed that one.
So you've just finished filming your latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The medicated, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll just... Because we know he's full of shit at this point.
Often, that's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding, giving, suffering for one's audience. I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire, the little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change.
Here we
it
are.
looks like in the coming few months.
Megan shouldn't be
What
asking
do
this
you make
question,
of this
but yet
historic
she is.
election result?
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Yes.
Well put.
Sorry, I said fuck.
No.
I'm really
Thank you so
Well,
much.
Lawrence, I believe you brought in a clip from The Medicated, which opens next week around the country. Lawrence, do tell us what's going on here.
I'd be delighted. This is a really pivotal scene where my character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's
keep this
very
off.
survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look.
Thought I looked a little spiffy
And we're
tonight,
out.
you know?
Rob, get the car, we're out of here.
Mr. Blunderclatch.
No! I'm shutting this down. What kind of operation are you people running?
Mr. Blunderclatch, I understand you're upset, but we can...
Upset! You don't know the half of it. Rob! I'll be at the Dorset. Send up a bottle of scotch and a whole ham. It's in my contract.
I'm sorry. I just had to. I had to. Well, go on then, say it.
What?
I told you so.
Your hair looked nice.
See, this is why you're single.
So that was cute. And there's nothing else after the medicated, if I remember correctly. So we'll jump over to the advanced acceptance speech from episode 1 again. And this is a lot that we didn't get to hear because the cast was chatting the entire time as the PMs were.
Apparently he's been drinking since lunchtime.
Christ, he's a liability at the best of times.
I know. God help whoever has to bleep this. 10 seconds, everybody!
And a lawyer and a team
I am that
of
person.
running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse. 5,
And yeah, like you can see the
3.
parallels here. You know, a lawyer and a television personality. Peter
Welcome
being
back.
the television
I'm told
personality.
we can now go live to Advance Headquarters, where the two leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
So we're gonna mute the PMs.
Go for it, Pat.
And we'll be able to actually hear them through the main screen here. As well as read it as well.
It's green.
It's teal.
Yep. Only been drinking all day.
Oh, not much.
Team spirit.
Swearing.
Swearing. Yes, swearing.
Except for the rich, for them the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shit in pants on and up in their dusty checkbook.
Before we came out here to oppress the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act. Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
You know, probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated community.
Tomorrow, we will be introducing a sweeping reform.
Yeah, definitely like a lot of concern about, you know, making a list of all rich people.
Creative accounting. Simpler, fairer, unavoidable debt.
Can I do that?
So all
Seems
you
to be
bastard
running casual personalities.
have got nowhere to hide. Today, we revoke your passports.
Whoa, now that is serious.
You want to leave when you
Yep.
They're stopping people moving. That is outrageous. Whatever they are. They can't.
They can't do that until they did do that. Right? Right? That's the thing about all this. Like, don't know. You say you have liberties until suddenly they're gone.
You'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours.
And maybe you like where it begins with the rich,
So to you,
but maybe you don't like where it goes.
The people who pay you a pittance to serve drinks in their private clubs. The people whose children you raise.
so they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you.
It
And that goes both ways.
We are coming for your sports car and your mansions and your
Yes, and so.
we will put the wealth of this country in the hands of the people who created it.
It ends today.
All right.
Until then, ladies and gents, I still get pissed.
Thank you for your time.
You can see a lot of Jeremy's nerves. A lot.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from the leaders of Advance. And our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully we got that bleeped out for you in time. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. So, as the country braces itself for new government, that's all from us this evening at the National Nightly News. We'll be back tomorrow with full coverage of the first day under Advance. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
All right, well.
And we're out. Good job, everybody. Same again tomorrow. Call times are on the board. So, same old boring politics then?
Is this some weird fever dream? Am I dying now or something?
You should be so lucky. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Not coming for a drink?
No, got a date.
Lucky you. Try not to get murdered.
Lovely thing to say to your friend. Just don't get murdered. He'll be fine, right? All right, we're gonna go over to the next night. We get to interview Alan James. And of course, now we know that Alan James is the leader of Disrupt. So there's a lot more
All
you can
that,
read into
and
that.
Megan Wolf with a group of young actors already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Seconds back, everybody. Can we get the guests in quickly, please?
We actually had to make the book indestructible because people tried to set it on fire too much. It's like
Thanks for
they were having
coming
these
on.
bonfires.
Thanks
in
for
town
having me.
centres, But Alan James, no doubt you've read my stuff.
I try not to, if I'm honest.
Behave.
You're not the boss of
I
me.
literally am. 10 seconds, everybody.
You see Alan like
We're going in 5,
stuttering,
4,
actually, which is weird.
3, 2.
In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan.
It's all in my book. Alan James is right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd, ignorant, sterile, and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is...
Shamelessly self-promoting. Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most disruptive
Jimmy takes
threat
his
that
book
the
again.
world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't
And
what
this
I...
will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking...
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, who will be laughing then?
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, Advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people. Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research and the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Frankenscience and opiates.
How does he have this many books?
Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Alan?
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals. They're pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong, I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
No, of course. Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order before Megan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by them then?
Oh, shut the fuck up, Alan. I've never heard so much shit in my life.
Well, we'll see who's full of shit, won't we?
Alan, I can explain it to you, but unfortunately I can't understand it for you.
Well, I don't know what she meant by that.
So Alan's a lot more demure when the camera is off than when the camera is on. He's definitely like, you can get the sense right now, and you know, we kind of had it before that Alan's playing a character. Like, he's very much in the same vein as, you know, Alex Jones. He is just that shock jock who doesn't believe any of the shit he's spewing. But in this case, like, oddly enough, he might be more right than he realizes. I mean, Alan James, duh.
Just saying I'll do what I can, that's all.
Bullshit you will. She's good. You know she is.
I've said I put a word in, that's all I can do.
10 seconds, everybody. Is little JD scared of the big bad culture with butter?
If that sticks, I'll just...
Oh, that's interesting.
4, 3.
That Jeremy put in a nice word to get Megan her promotion.
Welcome back.
I didn't realize
In our
that.
second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desks.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Well, we can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem.
Greg?
We need more support from ministers. Helen, what are you doing? We need change at a structural level,
I'm
Jeremy.
leaving, Greg.
Not a good time, darling.
It never is it? I'll be at my mother's.
No, just hang on. The problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No. Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry
servants.
to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving him?
Yes, totally understand. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. Next, I'm joined by Police Chief
And
Constable
of course,
Bob
oh my
Peel,
God, is...
a man with a very different perspective on our nation's crime. Do you think there's a problem with the system?
When are you going to realise
I'm sure we all
I'm
do,
not
Jeremy.
her, Greg?
Trust me, between the
Oh,
drinking and the arse, I'm very aware.
wow, he said that, huh?
Some thug with a knife.
Holy shit.
Or kosh.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you
Okay.
attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly. It's all in the Bible. Look, Leviticus clearly states that... Oh, bugger, hang on a moment. Jeremy, a bloody gimp's escaped. Delia? Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? As I was saying, Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
And just to be clear,
Ah.
you think it's the immigrants who are responsible
You know.
for the moral decay.
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back in your box, Clive. Back in your box.
Back
Delia,
in
I
your
really could use
box,
little help with this.
Clive. Come on.
Darling, I was spaying the badgers.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson. Clive, could you put him back in his box?
Clive, you know it's Wednesday. You go back in your gift space.
And whose responsibility is it to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people
Darling,
of this...
where's the padlock?
Oh, hold on just a moment.
Clive, this simply won't do. Naughty boy.
Clive, I am not having this again.
Mummy said get back in your gift space. Naughty, you beast.
As I was saying, Jeremy, moral decay. Crime is the responsibility of the criminal, no one else. Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A-, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes 3 of her pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there, really locking down the police's position on morality for us. And finally...
Look, I spoke to Mallory at the Bridge Club.
No, naughty boy.
She says the hall is absolutely fine for Sunday.
Oh, marvellous. Now, I booked your mother in for a hearing test.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did. Now, how's your IBS been?
Okay, that's pretty good.
Many happy
And
returns.
Titwig Tony.
Cheers, Jez. Call me Titwank Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Titwank Tony. Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against institutionalisation, as you can imagine. And obviously, titwanks are quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Titwank Tony.
Way!
Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party. Good bunch of lads.
Okay, well, we're trying to let you get back to that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Titwank Tony.
Way!
I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez. Yeah, I think asking that is an oversimplification.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. There's Big Chris, Little Chris, and Vampire Chris.
That was important.
This one's, yeah.
You know, when one of us hisses, the other one has to hiss. It's reflexive, unfortunately.
Rehabilitation's difficult with the
We
current
really can't
system,
help
Jez.
it.
It's just not
Sorry.
set up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust.
It's open.
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this now?
You are joking. Chrissy Freebollocks has only got Mr. Fancy, oh.
Titwank.
Not now, fellas, I'm on the news.
It seems like we've caught you at a bad time.
The little boy.
Oh, I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here.
Yes, we seem to be losing the signal
No
here, Tony.
fucking way, Las Bolitas!
Well, we're just trying to get that signal back. I think we... Yes? Tony? Tony, I mean, we're literally away for 2 seconds. How has this happened, Tony? Can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost our train of thought.
I guess he's just gonna party for a little bit. Good party.
1 minute back, everybody. That went well.
Piss off.
Decisive journalism.
I can have you fired.
You'd miss my charm.
That was pretty good. All right. Hey, friendship. I don't think we have to go through too much of Hey, friendship because that's mostly the song and a little bit of behind the scenes. So we'll probably fast forward through most of that.
Where is he? In his dressing room, probably banging his head against the wall.
Look, it's all right. I've got this.
I'm sure he's on his way.
Come on, it's welcome back. How hard can it be?
This is on you.
10 seconds, everybody.
Welcome back, Megan.
We're going to open on Megan. Camera 2. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome's Black. I'm Megan Wolf, and on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of
Really
the
bucks
Assets
it up.
and Wealth Act, a team of
Welcome's
inspiring
Black.
young people from Scritchford Sixth Form College who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour.
Oh, these nutters. Maths is really important. Welcome, Man in Orange. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome to the insanity of going behind the scenes here before we get into more episode 2.
Friendship!
Hot timing.
Well, thankfully that's all we have time for tonight on the National Nightly News. Join us tomorrow night for the headlines from across
The
country.
eyes.
My name's Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out.
What the literal fuck was that?
I believe that was art.
I believe I've got a 14-inch cock, but it doesn't make it so.
I have a similar belief about an adequate paycheck.
Oh, someone please get these twats out of my studio.
Oh, God. So bad. Alright, the Tad logs. Now, I know that there's a lot of stuff I think we missed in this. I can't remember which one this is, though. I'm trying to, like...
With that exclusive Prime Ministerial interview coming up later.
And our very own Patrick Bannon coming to you live from the first annual Sports Board final.
You won't want to miss a second of tonight's National Nightly News.
Where's my
10
makeup
seconds,
girl?
everybody.
Makeup!
Is it raining outside? I'm sure I felt a drip.
Just a bit. I saw a man float by on a massive boat.
Makeup!
storm.
Where is that useless fucking idiot?
I don't know if she had any pets.
Yeah, 2 of each.
Makeup!
Seriously, I felt a drip.
10 seconds, everybody. Look, I'll have someone look into it. For now, try not to drown. Going in 5, 4,
Too bloody
3.
late. First tonight, after the Christmas horror caused by Mr. Snugglehugs,
Oh,
we have an
right.
exclusive interview with one of the victims.
Poor 7-year-old Timmy Tadlock, like so many of those affected by the Christmas bloodbath,
yeah.
has spent the last
My
3
bad.
months
We played that
undergoing
effort.
a series of reconstructive facial surgeries.
Last week, joyfully, he spoke for the first time since the tragedy. Tonight, he talks to us.
Before we go to the interview, however, this station would like to issue a full and frank
Marjorie?
apology.
Marjorie,
Martin.
where's the twilight board when we went to play croquet with the Jessups?
Thank you.
It's
Thank
in
you.
the cupboard.
Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Megan.
Yes, I'm coming.
Can we have
fuck?
Mr. Tadlock in, please? We're just
Sweating.
Now it's over to Robin Short at the Tadlock family home. Robin?
Thank you, Megan. And their
Had to say it
7-year-old
90
son,
times.
Timothy.
Corgi! Oh my goodness, indeed.
It's all right. Your fault. As you can see, Megan, there's still a
Try Megan's mic too.
I'll check carefully. I'm going to speak to Timmy. Hello, Timmy.
Of course, Jeremy keeps asking about the goddamn drip. Still happening. Yeah, I got killed in this episode. Well, not killed, but...
Oh, lucky you, but you're not the one under the... Yes, fine. You must have seen that.
Good.
Yeah, it is sad.
And what did Mr. Snugglehug say to you?
He picked his war action up and said you're my very best friend. I sure wish Mrs. Snugglehug was here and she counted just $89.99. And then it's the general fair. What's he want?
Am I right in saying that one of his real action eyes is
Losing it.
permanently embedded in your cheek? Yes.
How long is Robin's
Keeping it now. It glows through bandages. I know it's under there. Staring at me.
Yeah, some of the other children started calling me Timmy Three Eyes. And then that's right.
There's too many.
Timmy Three Eyes.
Before the darkness overtook you.
Love has
Megan's eyes.
Do you have nightmares?
All right, that's quite enough of you two coming in here with your camera, but I a butt out of our supper, like
Isn't it?
Oh, dear.
Should we just get ready?
Stand by.
Do you think you will ever be what we can
No, you've had your questions, and now you. Oh, you've made him cry with all three of his eyes.
Do you think your parents will ever really love you?
Timmy, drink water. Quickly drink water off your dad's throne.
That has shaken our nation. Back to you. My espresso here.
Oh my god, she is oblivious.
Oh, my nerves, my master, my nerves. I need a pill and a drink.
Well, Megan.
Okay, the advance mark.
For these messages.
1 minute back.
Oh, sorry, I'm bursting.
She's very good.
Who?
Megan.
Yes, she is.
Watch your back, Jeremy. Women are coming.
I'm more worried about this water dripping onto my head.
Yeah, well, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. At all. It was a shocking experience for a great number of people that evening. So sports board, the game that makes absolutely no sense.
That's what it says.
Yes, I understand that, but I always say welcome back.
I think we should just keep it as it is.
Well, of course you do. I've got one hack line.
What's that supposed to mean? I didn't write it, Jeremy.
That's all right, fine. Jenny, there's something wrong with the auto cue.
10 seconds.
Oh, I just felt a drip again. Have they not fixed this?
Want to see us fry? It's good for the ratings.
5, 4, 3.
There's the
Welcome
bucket
back
right
to
next to
National
Jeremy.
Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolf. Coming up later, we'll be speaking to the Prime Ministers about their exciting new healthcare facilities, transition centres.
Wasting away in the chair. You know, while I'm covering this bullshit, I mean, a real waste of my talents. You know, I could put a tie on, I could have put a scratch on.
Sports board. Patrick?
That's right, Megan.
Wow, he really does not like Jeremy.
Sports board championship. It's been a hotly contested competition so far. I think it's fair to say.
That's the sports board. And of course, we have the nude protesters that will eventually run in here.
Trying to ignore all of that security. I'm sure we're going to take them out as soon as possible. Apologise if we
Down with
broadcast any of that.
advance.
As I said, we're going to get the situation resolved as soon as possible.
I did not get workers' comp for getting electrocuted in the studio. No, all I got was a nice hotel room, and I do believe Bozeman paid for the hotel for the hotel. Wow, for the hospital
Two
stay.
players' heads, but unfortunately,
That was
because of
it.
science, we can't.
That was it. And that was immediately sent back to work because fuck me, I guess.
Including me as my 15th win in the Sports Board Championship. I'm going to be
The first
celebrating
annual
tonight with my wife
Sports
and
Board
children.
Championship.
Another wonderful victory for me. Here come the on-site security to collect their medals. They're
But this is the
thanks again
15th
for
win.
watching the Sports Board Championships. What more is there to say? I'm Patrick Bannon. Looking forward to celebrating tonight. And all I always have to say, Jeremy, is back
That's
to
life
you
in
in the
broadcasting,
studio.
100%.
Patrick Bannon. Ordinary fight.
Historic sports ball, Jeremy.
Well done, everybody. Well done. Fantastic replay. Well done. Well done. Nice replay. Well done. We laughed a bit, but I think we got through it. Well done. Replay there. Well done, mate. Yeah. Well done, mate. Nice bit of play there. Well done. It was a really good replay. I did, yes. Well done. Yes, it was very good. Yeah.
Microphone struck me.
What?
Fucking microphone just struck me. Where's that sound guy?
Everything okay?
Oh, the mics are just trying to kill us now, apparently.
You'll be fine. You're unshockable.
I'm immune to your cheap flattery.
I'm wearing you down.
Alright, so PM's in the studio. This is the Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury interview. Right before we get electrocuted. And the bucket.
So sorry about all these buckets. We seem to have sprung a leak. Well, several, actually.
You're going to need a whole new lining up there. Triple sealed, I shouldn't wonder.
We'll look into it.
Minister, it's so good to see you again.
Peter having
your star
previously
seems to be in
worn,
the ascendant.
It's a
worked
great
on a
time to be
handyman
alive.
show.
Bloody right, Peter Clement.
Megan Wolf.
My, but that's a firm handshake you've got there.
She's tougher than she looks. Am I here?
Here, with Mr. Clement on your left.
Right you are, pet. Is your seat damp?
10 seconds, everybody.
No, mine's fine. Have you had a little accident?
Cheeky cow.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I am delighted to be joined by Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Welcome to the National Nightly News, Prime Ministers.
Oh, please, it's just Julia and Peter.
We don't believe much in titles. It doesn't seem very advanced.
We're delighted to be here.
Well, firstly, I should ask how you feel about the graffiti that's been springing up across the capital. Should we be worried?
Oh, no, you definitely shouldn't be worried.
Well, not unless you've got a fatal paint allergy, anyway.
But yes, it does seem that there are still some people we haven't been able to help.
You know, whingers mostly.
People who've yet to benefit from the many advantages of the new future.
And you know, Megan, as my old mum used to say, there are some pissants who just don't know how to be happy.
We're working hard to reach these people, find out what they're angry about and how we can help. The door to my government is always open.
Someone's tripping on me.
It's weird that she said her
But we
government.
didn't come here to talk about what may yet turn out to be some alternative arts project.
Which we no doubt will have funded.
When we want to talk
That
to the
makes me
nation
wonder
about
if she's just
something
using
far
Peter
more
as a front,
exciting.
right?
Yes, your office brief does
that
that
she
you have an
considers
announcement
it
to make, but they were being
hers,
surprisingly
you know, like
secretive
she
about
can
it.
work
Let me ask you a
behind
question,
him,
Megan.
like use him as like a
Okay, it's
a
not
puppet
usually how it works, but
in many ways.
What scares you? I mean, really scares you?
It's death, pet. She's talking about death.
We're all afraid of our deaths. It's part of
Yeah.
being human.
Agree with you, Corgi.
Are you saying that Advance have cured death?
That'll be a vote winner. Yep, that was definitely a drop there.
But while we may not have cured death, we hope we found a way to make it much less scary.
And much less painful and much less expensive. Look, which is me close-up camera,
Oh,
pet?
sorry, yes, it's camera 4 right there.
When I was 13, me mam came and got me from school. He was to go to the hospital. Me granddad, he'd collapsed that morning, so we'd all to say our goodbyes. And I went in to see him. He were all frail and pale. And I was scared because I'd only seen him the week before, and he'd been fit as fiddle. And he said to me, Peter, he said, it's the right time. I don't ever want to be a burden to the people I love.
Was that the last time you saw him?
Nope, 3 days later he were back home. He lived with us for 9 miserable years after that.
9
He had to be fed with a
years.
rubber spoon. He had a commode, so he'd just take a shit right there in the lounge while we were watching football. He wouldn't even wait till half time.
That sounds...
It were awful. It were awful for us, and this is the point. It were awful for him. He could see it was destroying me, man, watching him slowly fade away, and he would beg her to turn off his breathing equipment at night, but she couldn't, or she wouldn't. It were a crime, you see. And she didn't want to lose the children, as well as her old man.
No family should have to suffer like Peter's did. And now no family will have to. The health service is today opening the first of 300 new transition centres.
The transition centres will handle everything for your last days. The legal, financial, medical and emotional costs are all catered for and paid for by the government. So even the poorest citizen gets to pass on with dignity when they choose.
And that choice is important.
Yes.
This is a service only for people who choose it. For people who feel they've run their course and don't want to burden themselves or their families with a slow, long, humiliating decline into an
Jesus! Fuck! This microphone pack has just given me electric shock!
Are you okay?
I don't know, I think I'm from
yeah, right.
Are we still on the air, Peter?
Oh, yes, sorry, my apologies.
It's one of those things where you're not like
worried that this
flipping between
new
cameras suddenly
system might
when
be
you start
open
hearing
to
what they're
abuse?
saying.
In what way?
Shit! Nuts! Sorry.
It's pretty fucked up.
Can I get a little bit of help here, please?
That the older generation might feel somewhat...
Jesus, a raw shell face, fucker! That one was massive. Right, no, this bastard's coming off.
That the older generation might feel somewhat coerced.
Coerced into spending their final days eating gourmet food and drinking fine wine and luxury spas and gardens.
Look, I am perfectly capable of... Oh, fuck! My grandmother with a rusty twat bastard!
Prime Minister, please watch your language.
And the foot is in the bucket.
Go get yourself sorted out.
Right.
We're launching a government information film tonight. It should tell your viewers everything they need to know.
You really do move at a breathless pace. It's hard to believe you've yet to be in office a year.
Oh, Megan, we're only getting started.
Creepy.
And on that note, thank you both so much for being here. Jeremy.
Right, yes, that's all we have time for tonight. Thank yous go out to our guests. Congratulations to all the winners at the Sports Board Final. And we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. If you can, have a peaceful night.
And we're out. Good job, everybody. So they just...
It seems so.
I don't suppose there's any way this could be a good thing.
It's for my nephew, so we transitioned the moment I saw the leak.
Yeah, I missed the bucket too. That was pretty fucking funny. But yeah, also, yeah, I mean, again, Jeremy has that point of that could get real bad real fast. I think they're starting to like see it, you know, a bit more. All right, we'll do Remington Pissed, which is the beginning of lockdown, and then I will start getting ready for the actual main event tonight, which is more episode 2. Post the passing of Jeremy. God, that's depressing.
Ridiculous stuff.
Later tonight, Jeremy will be probing heartthrob reporter Patrick.
So just to catch up, this is the episode between these two episodes. This is where we have now hit the button. We've electrocuted ourselves. We passed out at the main board, and now we're waking up to everyone working from home because of snuggle hugs everywhere.
Bannon, while I take a deep dive into some controversial opinions with two familiar faces.
And then, in our third segment, I'm presuming
More
because
ruining
Irish
everyone's
also
livelihood
working
tonight. Yep.
from home, there's going to be a bloody quiz.
I can't wait.
Don't do that.
And in a moment, Jeremy Grumpelson and I will be asking controversial CEO Sophia Remington where it all went wrong.
And circuit scientist Dr. Delia Lywell will be joining us, presumably to provide a bit of false hope.
Maybe she'll tell you how you're going to die, Jeremy.
Too late. I'm certain it happened months ago.
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News. Brilliant.
What?
She's not here.
She's probably powdering her nose or something, Jeremy.
Yes, but with what?
Sophia will be fine.
Oh, Sophia.
Yeah, we met at a party on her yacht.
I wish I was on a yacht.
Jenny says she wishes you were on a yacht too.
I know, I can still hear.
Shush now, we're coming back. I'll count us down.
Where
In
is
5,
she?
4, 3.
First tonight, how
And
did
after
we
we
get
fucked
here?
with
Well, we
Sophia.
go. And most importantly, who's to blame?
Joining us
Made her
from
into
her
a
villa
party
on the
girl.
island of San Palmerino is CEO and socialite Sophia Remington.
Thank you for having me, Megan. I am loving your hairdo, babe.
And from her crystal heating laboratory in what I assume is a garage in Lower Uppington, Doctor, it says here, Delia Lywell.
Thank you for inviting us on your show.
Us?
Don't. Miss Remington, your toys are rampaging
Don't.
across the developed world, your company is worth less than my annual salary, and your country's president recently called you a national disgrace. Have you taken your eye off the ball?
Oh, honey, you're so cute when you're angry. The thing with you folks over there is you have an island mentality. You can't see the bigger picture.
So, what is the bigger picture?
The bigger picture is lithium batteries. Our toys have been running for upwards of 71 days now with no signs of them slowing down whatsoever. Imagine what that means for the future.
It means we don't know when the hell this lockdown's going to end, doesn't it? You don't seriously believe Remington's fist can survive this?
Lithium batteries are gonna change everything, tiny ogre. They're gonna power a new transport system, make technology portable. Hell, they might even take us into space.
But how can you make them with everyone at home?
Oh, don't you worry about that. Thanks to the work of thousands of tiny hands, they're already pouring off the production line. Times are good for Remington's fist.
But surely you have no future.
Excuse me, hello, yes, if we might. This is our area of expertise.
What, multinational economics?
The future, Mr. Donaldson, to which we are all connected.
Yeah, okay, I'll bite. Why not? There's clearly nothing better to do. So, what does your scientific process tell you about the future of Sophia Remington, Doctor?
We see her on a balcony. Foreign soil, but not foreign land. An age will pass.
Fascinating.
Wasn't it just?
Delia, you are amazing. We have to fly you out here to the island to do that for my guests. They're gonna love you.
Unfortunately, all flights are grounded because of your tiny, deadly stowaways.
Not all flights, honey. Dee, call me. And you, Maggie. The more the merrier. Bring your swimwear.
Miss Remington, you seem completely ignorant to the seriousness of the situation. Do you take any responsibility at all for the global crisis?
Careful! It's a trap.
It's not a trap. Why are you helping her?
She seems fun.
You bet your ass I'm fun.
Please answer my question, Miss Remington.
Listen, are lithium batteries the most incredible invention the world has ever seen? Probably yes. But, in fact, who am I kidding? It is definitely yes. But will they last forever? Sadly, no. One day, all the Mrs. Snugglehugs will just stop. It'll be like a miracle. And then we can all go back to the grand tradition of buying products again. Because I really don't mind telling you this. It is really hitting our bottom line. Except for sponges. We seem to be selling an ass load of them.
Dr. Lywell, do you have an indication of when or how this might end?
Well, it's not an exact science.
Not even a real one.
But our senses tell us that there will come a day when there will be clouds in the sky, the grass will be rich and verdant, and the birds will sing at dawn, and that shall be the day when we walk forth again.
I find that strangely comforting.
That could literally be any day.
Well, let's hope it's soon.
Clouds, grass, and birds. That's literally every day.
Let's hope it's not too soon. I'm kind of hoping we can make it to the 100 days. It sounds good on a commercial. Besides, if it lifts now, the children will have to go back to working normal hours.
Well, let us ask the eminent professors for 100 then.
No, let's not, eh?
I'll drink to that. Stay strong and party on.
Sophia Remington, Dr. Delia Lywell, thank you for joining us.
When we come back, we'll be reaching out around the country to see what's really happening out there.
Don't go away. We'll be back after these sandwiches.
Oh, she's a Hindenburg-sized fuck-up.
I mean, she's fun at a social level.
I wouldn't want to be on her board.
Christ, no. She's going to drive that company into the fucking ground.
All right, so like, it's interesting that Megan seems to have a relationship with Sophia. I mean, meeting on the yacht, like, inviting her to like the island. I mean, it seems like Megan likes her. I mean, Megan was breaking during the interview a lot. Well, Jeremy was getting just angrier and angrier and angrier about the whole thing because it just seemed like no one was taking him seriously. I mean, I am a little... This one's hard to read because it is technically a dream sequence and it never really happens. But, like, I don't know how much of it they carry forward. So, that's my thoughts there. But for now, I'm going to take a 5-minute break. And then when I get back right at 8 p.m., we're going to start with the brand new content in episode 2. So don't go anywhere. And I'll be back in 5 minutes. Go. Like, use the bathroom. Get a snack. It's nice.